Well, it's been over a month since the summer update for GTA 5, and naturally, I still haven't got every car covered yet, so I guess it's time to do another one. Because today, I want to look at this, where I'm just going to crash it into things. Literally every single video I start, I end up having to repair the car, because I'm always crashing it in the intro. But here we have the Maibatsu Penumbra, which is based on the Mitsubishi Eclipse, and also from this rear light setup, kind of looking a little bit like a Geostorm. Just that rear light cluster just feels very Geostormy to me, as well as being Mitsubishi Eclipse. But this is just another very cool retro car that we have yet to see in GTA 5 until now. Although we did actually have a mod, which was a replication of the Mitsubishi Eclipse. But this is actually the first time we've got it properly in GTA without mods. Unless you're playing in single player like me, in which case I have had to mod this in somewhat. But let's just have a little look around. And I've got to say, I love it. I think it looks great. I like the rear end. It actually kind of has some sort of small similarity to the new 400Z that's just been announced. But I do really like... the thing is, I've got to admit, right, because I think a lot of people actually like the Mitsubishi Eclipse just because they saw it in Fast and the Furious 1 and it was like a car they grew up seeing and maybe a car they grew up dreaming of. And actually, me included, until I got older and then for some reason I just really didn't like the Eclipse. It looked very Americanized. It didn't look very Japanese to me. It looked more like an American car. And in fact, that same thing also applies to the Mitsubishi 3000 GT or the GTO. That also kind of feels like an American car to me, like a Dodge Stealth or something. I'm sure there is actually some similarities. I think the Dodge Stealth is actually somewhat based on the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. But either way, I've always felt the Eclipse is a bit more Americanized, and I've kind of grown off it in recent years. But I actually really like how this looks. This does actually look more Japanese to me for some reason. I don't know how my brain works. I'm not even going to try and explain how my brain works. This is just how I feel. And I should probably give up waffling now. We should probably park up and have a deeper look at this. And look at all the tuning parts as well and do a couple of builds. If I can find somewhere to park that isn't sandy, though. So let's just open up the hood and open up the trunk and open up the doors and see what's going on here. So first of all, we've actually got a nice big 3D engine here. Again, this 4-banger engine always just looks way too big for me. Maybe it is because it's a 2.6 224 valve, but it just looks a little big for a 4-banger, doesn't it? The scale just never looks right, but maybe that's just me. But we have got a little induction kit thing going on straight off of the rear intake, with the pipe just sort of disappearing into the engine bay there. Is that a bug, or does that actually look like that in online mode as well? Either way, there's the engine. Then we have the boot, which is very shallow, doesn't have much going on. Low quality textures. And then inside here we have our little racing dashboard setup, full carbon fiber. Down here we've got some dials which actually look like the dials that you would get on the old Mitsubishis as well. I don't know if they've reused that from something in the game or if they've put that in specifically for this car, but that does look very much like the dials you used to get in the old Mitsubishis. And then we've also got this down here as well with the full boost controller. It's got an old sort of muscle car style steering wheel, which I'm not really that into. I don't really like these holes in the steering wheel. I'm not a fan of that. And then it has these racing seats as well. Right, let's see what tuning parts we've got. Let's go. So to start off with, we have some livery options. 13 of them to be exact. We have the Kisama beer, which, not too bad. We've got this pink all around the side and on the wing mirrors as well. And presumably that says Kisama. I can't tell you, I don't know every kanji. Then we have the shopping list, which is just the old style 2000s tune look with the stuff on the door. Then we also have the alternate colour version. We have the atomic tyres. Not really into that one. Then we have the Redwood cigarette style. A lot of these brands are just sort of like generic racing liveries. I don't know if they're based on anything. Then we have the Almost Had You, of course, the Fast and the Furious reference. We've got the, if we had this in green, this would look somewhat like the Fast and the Furious car, especially with this on the front as well. That is definitely to be expected. Then we had the Sakura Tree, which is very Japanese, very JDM. We have the Princess Robot Bubblegum. Again, this is very Itasha, JDM style. Then we have the Auto Exotic right there, which is actually blending in quite well with the red, or maybe perhaps too well with the red. Then we have the alternate color versions. We've got this in blue instead, which actually I like the look of that one. We have the We Hungry, which again I think this is based on the the Too Fast, Too Furious, We Hungry reference, of course. This is actually supposed to be from the Eclipse Spider, I think. So this one should be in purple to match. And then we have this Maibatsu one to finish, which has a sort of is but not Rising Sun-esque looking thing, I guess. Although it could actually just be tied into the Maibatsu logo, perhaps. But yeah, it's not completely Rising Sun, but it just has that. It does have that feel if you sort of look like from there. But that's all of those. I actually quite like that We Hungry one because I wasn't expecting to have a Too Fast, Too Furious reference. I kind of want to see what this looks like in purple now. Is that the right purple? I don't think that's the right purple. Maybe it was like this Spinnaker purple. I've just drawn a blank on what the colour is. But that is, it's an interesting look. I think for now, we'll keep the stock livery though, just because I want to see what else we could do with this. So on the spoiler, we have the quite a few options. We have the small wing, which actually, I don't mind this. It's a little thin though. I kind of wished it was a bit bigger. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. But then we also have that in carbon fibre. We have the street wing. Now that is a much better width. I definitely prefer that one. Then we have that in carbon. We have the angled one, which is just way too big. This terrible thing. Oh man, some of these look absolutely awful. But I do like the blade. I don't like this bit going up, but I do like the blade, even though for some reason we've actually got a bit glitching through. Is that actually the same in online? If so, good job, Rockstar. Oh, wow. Then we have the carbon angled wing, which also hides that glitch if it is still there. Yes, that glitch is still there. It does hide it a bit better. I do like this wing blade, though. I do like the shape of that. Then we have the standard wing right there. We have that in carbon fibre. We've got the extended wing. Carbon fibre. We have the large standard. Actually, this one's not so bad. It's not the worst one. Actually, for some reason, I kind of like these big ones today. Not this one, though. That big wing is a big no for me, and that in carbon fibre as well. The double wing is awful. Then we have the carbon version of that. We have the chassis mounted wing. I mean, I'm a big fan of these always. We have the carbon version. We have this chassis mounted wing with all of the bracing, and then we also have that in carbon as well. I actually think I'm going to go for the street wing, as I think it's nice, subtle, not too crazy, and I like that. So on the front, we have the stock, we have the plate remove, which also debadges it. And with a lot of things, some cars just look too weird when they get rid of the badge, and I think this car is definitely one of them. I think the badge breaks up that front. This kind of makes it look a bit silly. But we do have that with the vent remove as well. We also have the underbite bumper, which gives it some sort of like teeth. We have the street bumper, which actually kind of makes it look a bit Supra-y in a way. Then we have the Futurism bumper, which makes it look like a bit more of a modern Honda, like a CR-V or something. Well, I say more modern Honda. This is a Mitsubishi, but for some reason I just thought CR-V the second I looked at that. It also looks very unhappy. Then we also have the Street Alt bumper. That does look very 2000s tuner style. Then we have the Style bumper. We have the Racing bumper. The Baskin Shark bumper. These do look very Need for Speed as well. And then the Racing Alt bumper. Actually, I think out of all of them, I think this is the best combination of like modernness but also 2000s tuner. Because I think the Street one and the Style one are just a little bit too much. But this one is alright. I like it. Then on the rear bumper. Oh, let's turn the car around. It's a bit shaded. So we have the stock rear bumper. We have that with the massive diffuser down the bottom here. And also we've got extra space for an exhaust. I kind of wish that wasn't there unless we had the double exhaust, because now it looks a bit silly and lopsided. But then we also have, actually like a full cutout stock with the diffuser as well. Then we also have the street rear bumper. We have the ribbed rear, which also adds that nice little line to the rear, which actually I like that because I think that was a little bit too rounded. That breaks it up a bit. I like how that looks. Then we have that one with the diffuser, and then we have the race rear ribbed race. And that one, I actually kind of like this stock cut one. I kind of wish we had that one with the rib as well. We seem to have had all combinations apart from that one with the rib. Mind you, this might be looking a bit too rough if I was to cut that out. Do you know what? I'm going to go for the ribbed race rear because, yeah, it kind of goes with the rest of the styling, I think. On the skirts, whoa, we've got a lot of options of this as well. Let's put this back in the light. So we've got the stock, we've got the carbon, we've got the small lip, we've got the carbon small lip, we've got the large, we've got the carbon large. I'm just going to, instead of just saying the names, I'm just going to run through these because it kind of gets annoying. I actually quite like that bulbous one. That one. That is very, very 90s, 2000s looking. Yeah, I think out of all of these, I might actually go for that bulbous one. It kind of matches. It has some softness to it, which also goes with the rest of the car. Especially when you get like these sort of rounded cars, then you put like sharp things on it. It doesn't always work. This works though. This looks alright. So we've got that. We've got the ribbed rear bumper. We've got the bulbous skirt. Yeah, that's not too bad. On the exhaust, we have stock. We have the dual stock. We have the single small. We have the titanium. We have the dual small. The dual small. The dual titanium. The dual double bore. God damn it! This is a mouthful. Then the dual double small. Then the dual double. Oh, the double small bore. I should probably stop saying these. I'm just going to go for that one. They do look a little lost in there, though. I kind of wanted some big fart cans for this. So on the interior, we have the stock. We have the street seats, the racing seats, the carbon seats, the competition seats, and then we have these different combinations with all the cages. I kind of wish that we had the stock seats, because these are actually already nicely textured sports seats. The rest of them kind of look a little bit off and they don't really fit in as well. I kind of like this, but with the cage, but that isn't an option. So I think I might go for the carbon seats, because I'm always a fan of these because they at least don't look as bad. I actually like the models for these. And yeah, we'll go for that. And also I've changed the green secondary colour to white because I think it just instantly looks better. So yeah, that's the secondary colour with the cage. Let's just go for that. I kind of want to go for a street build, but also one that's definitely like set up for the track. So on the grille, this is actually going to be the splitter. We have the primary splitter. Oh, okay. So this is actually a really nice combo with the bumper that we've already got. So we have that with the carbon if we wanted. We've got these different things going on here. Actually, some of these don't go. Like these canards don't really go with this. Oh, don't really go with this side vent, for example. So they definitely don't match all. But some of these actually look all right. Oh yeah, we could even go with this with the more visible intercooler as well. I actually think I'm going to go for this primary setup with intercooler. Because, yeah, I just think that goes really nicely with the bumper. Mind you, it doesn't actually stick out as far. And it does. Oh! Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, no, not from this angle. Oh, no! It doesn't match. They've actually made things that only go with, what, the stock bumper? There's like a gap. I think we might have to go for this race setup then. We'll just have that tiny little lip extra. Yeah, let's go for that. So, onto the bonnet. We have some round vents. Not a fan of those. Different Ugh! Not a fan of that at all. How does that look if I go to a different angle? Oh, it actually goes down that way. No. Not a fan of these. Not a fan of that. These are not really my thing. We've got the sports hood, which just adds the sort of lines that come off from the lights. As you can see, let's just compare this to the stock here. There you go. It doesn't have those lines. I do like how that looks with the lines. I think we might have to go for that. What have we got? Street hood? Oh, that's not so bad either. That's not so bad either. I quite like that. In fact, I like the street hood. I'm going to go for the street hood. Then on the fenders, this actually is going to be the sun strip, primary colour, secondary colour. Oh, plastic sun strip, if you wanted that for some reason. Globe oil or hard stand. Yeah. I kind of wanted to just have black instead of plastic. That's kind of a weird option, which I don't like. So I'm going to go for primary sun strip on this one. Even though I'd rather not. Then onto the other fenders, which is actually mirrors. We've got carbon, wing mirrors, or we've got secondary colour. I'm going to keep those stock. Then on the roof, we have the options of a scoop, or a few different scoops here. Not a fan of any of them. Keep that stock. And then it's just a case of upgrading all of that sort of stuff. What have we got for suspension here? It's just, no! This is, yeah, okay. Maybe that low might work with a different build, but this one, it doesn't look right. So I kind of just want to go for just the street suspension. I might just fix that Campbell V-Stancer in a second. Let's find a different paint colour, though, because we've definitely already used red. Although it does look really nice in red. But let's see what else we got. These all look very nice. I'm actually feeling Vista Pink. I think we don't use this colour enough. I think this looks awesome. Man, this looks so cool in 2000s. I love it. And for the wheels, I think we should go for something that's not too modern, but not too classic. I think these ones actually work perfectly. These are just simple racing style. They've got some dish to them. Or maybe we can look in tuna, see what we've got in here. Yeah, I'm going to go for these right here, which also makes this into a 4-stud. And, oh, we can actually make those black. I think that pink and black look, I'm actually really digging that. I'm really digging that carbon black. That is nice. I don't know if any of these liveries are going to go with this. Let's have a quick breeze through here. Actually, the Sakura tree one. The Sakura tree actually goes with the pink. I hadn't intended to make a build like this, but there we go. That's something a little bit different. I've actually got to be honest, pink is actually one of my favourite colours. I really like pink. Yeah, this is nice. Yep, definitely a fan of this build. This is nice. I don't even think we really need to change much even with V-Stancer either. So I'm basically just going to move it up a bit, and I'm going to have less camber. I'm actually going to, thanks to Rockstar, normally, thanks to Rockstar, I have to add camber. Now, thanks to Rockstar, I have to actually reduce camber. And I'll just tuck that in. That's a much better look. And then I'll just bring the rear camber back. It's about there. Tuck that in one more. Yeah, that looks nice and usable. In fact, we could probably go up on the rear height just a little bit. Like there or something. So we've got a bit of rake going on. So it's just a little bit higher on the rear than it is on the front. I think that works perfectly. There we go. This looks like a proper, like, dialed-in performance car now. I love it. But I kind of want to see what this looks like if we go in a really opposite direction. So I'm just going to do one quick bit. Did I just smash my glass doing that? I swear I just saw glass particles come off then. But yeah, I think I'm going to try and make a very different build for this next one. So let's give it a try. Okay, I was trying to be experimental, but it doesn't work. I wanted to try off-road, which, I mean, I do quite often, but I wanted to do like a tuner off-road with, you know, the body kit and the racing looks, but then being jacked up with the wheels, and it just doesn't work. It looks absolutely dreadful. I made it dirty. I made it just like a matte brown. Actually, this is from the used or the worn paint category rather than matte, just to make it look a bit more run down. But I went for the rear mounted spoiler. I went for the cut bumper with the big massive diffusers. And yeah, it doesn't work, I don't think. Maybe you guys actually like it, but I don't. I think it's because I have fallen in love with this Sakura car that I've made. It just works perfectly. And I realized I didn't even change the white on the roll bars. And I think it's because they look perfect in white. It just goes perfectly with the pink. And I just love this too much. This is now one of my favorite things that I've built in a while. I love it. Absolutely love it. But actually, that's going to be it. In fact, I want you guys to let me know which one of those you prefer. Whether you prefer this awesome, lowered, modern, but still classic tuner-style car, or do you like that sort of raised tuner-style car with the off-roading thing, which I don't think it works. I tried it. It could have worked out great. It didn't. And if you have watched the entirety of this video, you can say... There's no words around here because we're out in the middle of nowhere. You can just say Sakura in the comment section below. It'll be actually interesting to see how many people misspell that. That's Sakura in the comment section below. But that's going to be it. My voice is dead, so I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!